Welcome to Truett-McConnell University Online. My name is Amy Hayes and I'm the Director of Online Learning. We are proud to offer both bachelor's and master's online degrees, as well as dual enrollment courses, all taught from a Christian worldview. Our undergraduate and graduate courses typically run on 8-week terms, 2 in the fall, 2 in the spring, and 1 in the summer. And assignments are usually due at the end of each week with no specific login time required. This allows you the flexibility to meet your educational goals while also being focused on your family, your career, or both. Our small classes and course design work together to foster relationships with your instructors and your classmates in order to help you be academically successful. You can find more information about our programs at truett.edu/online, and if at any time you have problems or questions, please contact us. We will do our best to make sure that you have a positive experience at TMU Online. I also want to share a few tips with you on how to be a successful online student. When you first get access to your courses, download both the syllabus and the course schedule for each course so that you can refer to them throughout the term to be aware of your weekly assignments and upcoming projects, exams, or papers. You will also see the due dates listed in your online classroom calendar. Check your Truett email regularly for any messages from your professors and use that account to communicate about your courses should you have any questions or problems. Although your assignments aren't due until Sunday at midnight, don't wait until that morning to get a start. Get a jump on it earlier in the week so that there's time to contact and hear back from your professor or online support if you need assistance. This will also keep last-minute technical issues from interfering with your ability to complete your work. Finally, review and apply any feedback given on graded assignments and check your online gradebook regularly to make sure you're not missing anything. And if you ever have questions or problems, please reach out to your professor or email us at onlinesupport@truett.edu. Please continue watching this video for information on how to log in and get started in your online courses. This video is to help you get started with logging into and using the TMU Brightspace online classroom. First off, you will want to go to online.truett.edu and click the blue Sign In with Microsoft button. Now, if you are a new student and you click this Sign In with Microsoft button and enter your login information and it says you are not authorized, that's because your online account has not been created yet. It's not created at the exact same time as your email address, so there may be a lag between those two. But if you get to about a week before the start of your term, and you're still not able to log in, then you want to contact the IT help desk or online support. Both of those email addresses are listed here. But once your account is created, you'll click the blue Sign In with Microsoft button. You should normally see a screen there that comes up and tells you, has you enter your username and password from your TMU email. Once you've been logged into that email, though, it will pretty much take you straight to the page, but you are going to use your username and password from your TMU email account. So this will bring you to the homepage for TMU Online. A couple of things I want to point out on this homepage. First off, at the top left here, you've got announcements that are relevant to the entire university here. Once you've read an announcement, if you want to dismiss it so you don't see it anymore, because the first time you log in, you're going to see a lot of announcements there, you just click this little X here, and that will dismiss the announcement. You can dismiss as many or as few as you want. If you ever need to go back to see those announcements or you want to restore them, hey, I thought there was this announcement I might need to know, you click the arrow next to announcements and say, go to News Tool. And it will show you all the announcements that are listed there and that you may have dismissed, okay? Now, anytime you want to go back to the main page after that, you just click the TMU logo up here at the top left, and that'll take you back here. Now, also what you have is a video on, actually, this video right here, Welcome to and Getting Started in TMU Online. So if you're already watching this video, you're already good there. A section on how to get help with the online classroom. You're going to use online support at truett.edu. Make sure you're using your Truett email address, if at all possible there, and it includes some other information that you want to put in that email to get faster service. And then if you need assistance with your Truett email, with Office 365, or with self-service, you want to contact the IT department. There's their phone number and their email address for that. You can access your courses in one of two places. First off, this section here, any of these sections are called the widgets. So there's a My Courses widget that you should have access to. Some of the things that you'll see listed there, you'll see a Student Resource Center course, and then you'll see any other courses that you're currently enrolled in. Obviously, since I'm a system administrator, I see a lot more courses than you're going to there. Another place to access your courses is up at this 9-box icon up at the top right that says Select a Course. And all the courses that you're enrolled in will come up listed here. The ones that are current or the ones that you want to access most often, you can pin and unpin to that list. If you're searching for a particular course, I wanted all my fall 20 courses, then you can look for those there. Some other things that are on this course homepage, a link to the TMU Coffer Library website with the current Galileo database password if you ever need to use that database to do research for a course. And then most importantly, a link to the TutorMe free online tutoring service here. We offer this to all TMU students. You can connect with a live tutor immediately in over 300 subjects. You can get help with your writing using the TMU Writing Lab. You can also schedule a later time to meet with a tutor as well. They have got over 10,000 tutors available. Please do keep in mind that you are limited to 3 hours per week for each student. That's so we don't run out of hours by the end of the semester and everybody gets to utilize it. And then down here at the bottom is a link to the Brightspace Tutorials YouTube channel. If there's something that you're trying to figure out how to do, just enter it in the search in this YouTube channel and they should come up with something to help you out here. There's also a direct link to this Student Resource Center course that I was talking about. So all students should be enrolled in the Student Resource Center course. I want to point out a couple of things here. First off, if you go to the Content tab, you'll see that there's a module here called New Student Online Training with a few important videos for you to watch. Again, this is the Getting Starting video that you're watching right now, and links to some certain Brightspace tutorial videos that we thought would be more relevant to what you might need in the online classroom. As well in the Student Resource Center, you've got links to other things, academic services, the calendar, the current catalog, disclosure of disability form, grade appeal, things like that. Under the Brightspace Online Classroom module, again, some other tutorial videos to help you, and then some other links here that we thought would be useful as you go through your career here at Truett and through the online classroom. Another way that you can get help, if you click on More Tools, you can go to Brightspace Help and you can go to Video Tutorials as well. Okay, so let's actually go into a course and talk about what you're going to see in an online course. I'm going to go into a history course here. This is what a course homepage should look like pretty much in all of your courses. They've got the same standardized welcome announcement there. Your professors might post something in addition to that to welcome you. You will not see the updates. Actually, let's take a look at this as a student instead of as an administrator. Okay, so this is more what you would see. Here's your welcome announcement here, which has, again, links to the Student Resource Center, the online support email address, how to check your email here, and direct link to TutorMe. Also on the right-hand side, you should, once you are in your course and the term has started, you should actually see a picture of your professor, their name, and their email if you ever need to contact them. That same information about how to get help with online support or IT, and then a calendar of when your assignments are due for that particular class. One thing I want to point out here is this statement right here. Course materials are accessed using the Content tab. You must complete the course requirements checklist quiz in order to have your course content released to you. So here's what we're talking about. If we click on the Content tab, You'll see Overview. This is pretty standardized for every course. And then if you click on Course Introduction, you'll have some student expectations that are the same in every course about what is expected of you in terms of workload, dropping courses, different things like that. You'll have the syllabus and a course schedule for each of your courses, some additional information specific to that course, but then what you'll have is this course requirements checklist quiz. And what this basically says, and once you click on it, you'll click Start Quiz, and what this essentially says is, and it may not work for me, so it is going to work, is have you read the syllabus? Have you purchased or ordered the books? If you're a dual enrollment student, those are delivered to you. I understand the drop add period. I understand the attendance policy. I understand, I've read all the information. I understand that the quizzes and assignments are to be done individually, okay? And once you submit that quiz, and let's see if it works here. Oh, I forgot to actually answer the questions, but that's okay. I'm not going to worry about it. Once you submit the quiz, hopefully you won't make an F on it. This is what's important. What will be released to you then is your course content. So it's divided into either 8 or 16 weekly modules. You'll have objectives for each week, videos from the developer of your course, study guides, and actual assignments are listed within those weekly modules, okay? And you click on something and it will take you to whatever you need for that assignment for each week, okay? Now, most of your assignments are going to be due each Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. The only thing that's usually different from that is discussions. A lot of times discussions are set up so that your initial post is due earlier in the week, and that's the deadline that will be set on it in the calendar. And then your responses to other classmates are due by Sunday. Now, one thing you need to keep in mind with completing your work and your assignments, you will be withdrawn from your course if you do not submit work for 10 days. So if you miss an entire week's worth of work, and you don't submit it within 3 days after that week without having made other arrangements with your instructor, you will be withdrawn from your course. So do please keep that in mind. That's very important information. Okay, so let's go through some of the different types of assignments that you would be completing in one of your courses, okay? So the first thing is with quizzes. If we take a look here in week 2 of this history course, we have a lecture quiz and we have a reading quiz. Now, if some quizzes will specify whether it is considered to be open book or closed book. Some do not. If it doesn't specify, you need to be aware of the time. So lecture quiz 1 here is going to be we're only going to be allowed 30 minutes. I'm not able to scroll down here because I'm not actually a student, so I can't click Start Quiz. But you do need to be aware of your time because, for example, if this quiz has 30 questions to be answered in 30 minutes, there is not going to be time for it to be open book and for you to look up your answers. So do be very aware of your time. Make sure when you are taking a quiz that you have a strong, reliable internet connection before you start. You also cannot leave and come back once you've started a quiz. This has a 30-minute timer. You can't get 10 minutes in and go, oh, I'm hungry. I'm going to go get a snack. I'll come back. The timer will run out at 30 minutes. Now, the good news is the quizzes do auto-save your answers. So if you're in a situation where you do suddenly lose internet access, if your connection is lost, as soon as you realize that's going on, if you see that it's not saving your answers, log back out and log back in as quickly as you can to reconnect that quiz once you have established internet connection. Now, after you have submitted your quiz, you do have the ability in some classes to go back and view that quiz submission and see how you did and what you may have missed, okay? In order to do that, the instructions to do that are actually posted right here as the main announcement in the Student Resource Center. It gives you instructions on exactly what to click to be able to see those. Now, this is not set up in every course. Not every developer, not every professor wants you to be able to see your quizzes after you submit them because of test security reasons. So if you follow these quiz submission instructions and you're not able to see your quiz that you submitted, you need to email the professor and they may say, I'm sorry, those are closed for you. You cannot take a quiz after the end date without permission of your professor. So do keep that in mind. If you miss an end date, a deadline for a quiz, you'll have to communicate with your professor to try to get an extension on that. Another type of assignment that you may be asked to submit is, it's literally called an assignment, often called a drop box as well. So you should see a set of instructions here. Sometimes it'll say see attached instructions. And if you just click on the name of the assignment, you would be able to view that attachment. So the instructions will be listed here. These assignments you can submit Word or PDF files. Please do not submit Pages files or ODT files or anything else like that because those cannot be opened by your professors and therefore your professors cannot grade them. If you want to submit a file, you just click Upload. And again, it's not working for me. Oh, it is working for me because I wasn't sure since I wasn't an actual professor or an actual student because we're still in student view. You can just navigate to whatever file you want to submit there. Click open. I'm not going to actually submit one here. But if you do get an error message that says, oops, your file cannot be uploaded, that's because you probably have illegal characters in the file name. Again, if you go to the Student Resource Center course and scroll down a little bit, here is a message that tells you what are considered illegal characters in file names. It's also an issue if your file name's way too long, you're not going to be able to save those, okay? So do make sure you read this announcement if you get that error message. You're trying to submit a file with illegal file names on them. Now do be aware also that when you submit these assignments for most of your classes, they are linked to something called Turnitin Plagiarism Checker, and that is going to compare your submitted files to files previously submitted to Truett-McConnell University Online Classroom, as well as all sources out on the internet. And if it comes back with too high of a similarity percentage, your professor may give you a 0 for that assignment or talk to you about plagiarism. One way to verify that your assignment was actually submitted is that every time you submit a file, you should get an email confirmation to your TMU email. So if there's ever any question later about whether you actually submitted an assignment, you can go into your email and get that submission verification. You can submit multiple files at a time. So when I go in here to upload, I can submit multiple files at the same time. It's not letting me right now, but normally you can. So I think you would just do upload and then upload and then upload. What you can't do is put in a file and then hit submit and then put in another file, come back and do another file later. So if you run into a situation where you didn't submit everything at one time like you wanted to, you submitted the wrong file, then you would need to contact your professor and have them reset the Dropbox for you so you can resubmit. Okay, some other assignments that you may be participating in, and I want to look, I'm not 100% sure that there are any discussions in this course. No, there are no discussions in this course. Let me go to another course that I know there are discussions in. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain and what I just typed in there. All right, so I know that I gotta take that quiz again real quick. Again, every time you go into one of your classes, if you want to be able to see stuff, you're going to have to take that course requirements checklist quiz. So if you're taking 3 courses, you have to take the course requirements checklist quiz 3 times. Yes, it's the same questions every time, but you have a different syllabus within each course. Okay, so that should release my course content. There we go. Great. All right, here we go. So in our world history class, we have a discussion on the ancient Egyptians here. So what you would want to do in order to complete this discussion is you would click Start a New Thread. All right, now make sure that you read the instructions very carefully. Most professors will say something about what your minimum word count should be, when your initial post should be due, and then when your responses are due, how many classmates you need to respond to, and everything else there. Now, if you know that this is due on Thursday and it's Thursday afternoon, and you're not seeing anybody else's posts, that's because in most discussions it's set up that you don't see what somebody else has posted until you post first, okay? So we would click Start a New Thread, enter your subject. This could be Ancient Egyptians discussion, type in whatever you want, and then click Post. Some other things you want to be aware of in the online classroom. Clicking on the Grades tab will show you your grades within that particular course. Fortunately, that course requirements checklist quiz does not count towards your grade because I would not be doing too well right now. So you can use the Grades tab to do that. When professors grade something, you should be able to see any feedback on that as well. Again, you can go back into your submission, or if they've provided feedback, you should usually be able to click and see it on the discussions. It is important that you go back and you read that feedback because you want to improve on whatever you might have missed. If you didn't get 100 on an assignment, there's a reason why, and your professor should be telling you why. Okay, and then another thing is if you need to email your professor, you can click the email tab. You can go directly to your TMU email and do it that way. Actually, I would not recommend using this email tab here, but you can use the class list tab, which will allow you to email other students or your professor in the class, okay? But again, the best way to figure out how to email your professor is they should have their email listed right here. Please do not email your professors from a personal email account. You are to only email your professors from your Truett email. They have been instructed to tell you that if you try to email them from another email account, okay? Just so we can track everything that goes on there. So if you have other questions during the semester, again, if you need assistance with email, self-service, or Office 365, then you can contact helpdesk, one word, at truett.edu. If you need assistance with the online classroom, you can email onlinesupport@truett.edu. And if you need assistance with your grades, your individual assignments, then you would contact your professor first. And if you do not hear back from your professor within 48 hours, then you would reach out to online support at truett.edu. If you need to make any changes in your courses, if you are a dual enrollment student, you would contact the dual enrollment office. All other students should either go through self-service or the registrar. Thanks so much, and I hope you have a great experience with Truett-McConnell Online University.